Hello there. It's good to have you today with us on the Power Circuit. This Power Sector program is brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria. TCN is the only company responsible for transmitting bulk electricity in Nigeria. This is Amara Agogoesi, and I'll be taking you through the specially packaged reports in this edition. Let's get on it. First on our list today is a declaration by the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, that the federal government is implementing programs to boost energy access. TCN seeks support to tackle vandalism of power transmission assets. And today in the interview segment, the Regional Transmission Manager, Benin Region of TCN, Engineer Isaac Obe, will be discussing the operational conditions and key power transmission projects in the region. We have got you covered for the next half hour on the Power Circuit. Energy is said to be the bedrock of any developed economy, and cognizant of this, the federal government of Nigeria says it is keenly developing policies and implementing action programs to improve energy access in the country.
The Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Federal Ministry of Power, Mr. Tope Fashedemi, stated this in a keynote address to declare open the Nigeria Energy Conference and Exhibition in Lagos.
I'm here to represent the Honorable Minister. He has mandated me to represent him here because this is an event he counted very important. We have progressively been developing policies, regulations, and setting up institutions to, as much as possible, minimize challenges associated with investing in the power sector. In this regard, we are championing the establishment of affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy for our teeming population. Some of the policies, especially as it pertains to development of renewable energy, includes National Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Policy, the National Renewable Energy Action Plan, the National Energy Efficiency Action Plan, the Sustainable Energy for All Action Agenda. SC for All AA includes Nigeria's Electricity Vision EV 30-30-30. This is targeted at achieving 30 gigawatts of electricity by the year 2030 from multiple sources of energy.
He said the policies and programs are already yielding results in the power sector.
In line with our climate change commitment, Nigeria is committed to attaining a net zero carbon emission by 2060. This is to be realized through the recently launched Energy Transition Plan. Furthermore, Nigeria, in its updated nationally determined contributions, is committed to reducing its greenhouse gases emissions unconditionally by 20% and conditionally by 47% in accordance with the Paris Agreement. Embedded in the policies are instruments with adequate fiscal incentives for potential investors. These instruments include tax and duty waivers, competitive procurement of renewable energy projects, feed-in tariffs, viability gap funding, and many more. These and other initiatives of the federal government have begun to yield favorable results by crystallizing into private sector funding in the provision of energy sector. It may also interest you to know that Nigeria presently has the highest rate of solar rural mini-grid deployments in sub-Saharan Africa, thanks to the implementation of capital subsidy and regulations, which is incentivizing the private sector to bring in significant equity funding for project development.
Engineer Aliyu noted that the conference provided a platform for interaction towards sharing action plans for the power sector. Shortly before declaring the conference and exhibition open, the minister commended the participants for the turnout as he assured them of the core efforts of government in getting electricity right.
It is the determination of the present administration to ensure that together we have a perfect opportunity to bridge the energy gap, strengthen the infrastructure, foster the technology ecosystems across Nigeria, embrace new business models, create jobs, work together in collaboration as partners, and use the best of our skills to build a future where energy is accessible to all Nigerians. Once more, I congratulate the organizers of this epoch-making event for the turnout. I wish you fruitful deliberations as you listen to the invited industry experts and deliberate and debate on various issues with a view to providing solutions.
In his address, the Managing Director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, represented by the Regional Transmission Manager Lagos Region of TCN, Engineer Ajiboye Oluwagbenga, highlighted the roles of TCN in the electricity supply value chain.
In its role as the transmission service provider, TSP, TCN own and operate over 200 substations and 200 transmission lines used to move electricity from generating companies to distribution companies, eligible customers and international customers. TCN constantly maintains these assets while constantly developing and constructing new substations and lines to meet the developmental need of Nigeria as a whole. As the system operator, TCN coordinates the flow of electricity from 27 generators across over 200 lines, connecting them to distribution companies taking in energy across 800 feeders connected to over 200 substations. In this role, TCN, through the National Control Center, NCC, accepts nomination from the 27 generators and matches them with forecasts across the 800 plus feeders from the 11 distribution company.
The TCN head also stated that there are a lot of innovations by TCN to improve the national electricity grid operations.
We will continue to embark on digital transformation of TCN for the benefit of the Nigerian electricity sector, using both internal and external resources, while leverage on big and small solutions. Thank you very much.
Also speaking, Ade Yusufu, Exhibition Director, Energy Portfolio, Nigerian Energy and Informal Markets, stated that the Nigerian Energy Conference was a platform where experts converge to chart a course for the power sector, just as he commended the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliu, and the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, for the support. As the co-host and sponsor of the conference, the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, elaborately showcased its activities and roles in the power sector at the exhibition arena. Participants who thronged to the arena had all their inquiries answered by the hands-on staff of TCN, who excitedly attended to them.
We'll be right back. Keep exploring with the power circuits.
Are we ignorant, or do we only act ignorant? It was only 23 years ago when frail-looking 70-year-old Abdul Duse escaped death by the whiskers, when a surge of electric current within 2 minutes left sorrows, tears, and blood in his Farakwai village. In a flash, people died instantly. 53 sustained injuries and several properties went up in smoke. Although the dead almost immediately were buried, wounds have healed and Farakwai has picked up the pieces. But never will the scars fade away. 23 years later, and the memory lingers on. Tell me, how do we avoid a Farakwai village tragedy?
Another Farakoi incident can be avoided if we avoid building on the high-tension installations and doing business activities on the high-tension installations. Let's avoid another Farakoi incident and let's adhere to TCN safety rules of building 50 meters away from 330 kV lines, 30 meters away from 132 kV lines, and 15 meters away from 33 kV lines. Let's help TCN transmit electricity in the most efficient and safe manner. Let's stay safe. Let's stay alive.
The provision of adequate electricity supply is the ultimate goal of the federal government of Nigeria, and the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has continued to invest to ensure that when this electricity is generated, it can be safely and reliably transmitted to distribution load centers to serve you and I. However, the activities of vandals pose a threat to the operation of the national electricity grid. But the management of TCN, led by engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, believes that with collaborations, the Nigerian dream will always prevail.
A case of vandalism of power transmission line was recently tracked in Ukopi community in Igbo-Etiti local government area of Enugu State. The anti-vandalism team of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, dictated the nefarious activities along a 66 kV Nsuka to Oji River transmission line and mobilized immediately to the scene. The Deputy Commandant and Head of Department Critical Infrastructure and National Assets, NSCDC, Enugu Command, Hassan Yabo, spoke about the incident during an assessment tour.
We received information from our divisional officer at Nsuka local government in collaboration with neighborhood that some of the NEPA equipment have been vandalized. As receiving information, we rushed to the scene of the place before we can come. The hoodlums with arms and ammunition run away.
He said the team safeguarded the vandalized power transmission materials to ensure the vandals did not return to the scene.
And as you can see here, these are the level of the damage they have done. If not because of the effort and our personnel, all this where we cannot imagine them here. So equally, as a side of the NEPA official, immediately after giving the information, they cooperated with us. They gave all the necessary support that we require to safeguard the district, and that's where here we are now.
Yabo further emphasized on the collaboration the security agency has with TCN towards safeguarding critical power transmission infrastructure.
We will make sure that every now and then we will come in for surveillance to ensure the protection of all these national assets. So equally, actually, critical department equally, they are primary actually. If you they can equally assist us in ensuring that actually this is no longer being vandalized in future.
In his comments, a senior manager system lines department, Enugu sub-region of TCN, Engineer Ejikemba, said the company has noted the extent of the vandalism as he called for more support from the community and security agencies to safeguard the national assets.
This is what we are suffering these days. Vandalization is on the high side, and I want to use this opportunity to thank the civil defense and the neighborhood who were able to secure this material for us. Our plea is that they should continue to oversee this equipment, this national assets. It's not only the 66 kV line, we also have 132 kV line or Otubo line very close to it, and that one is still in service. So we ask that we plead with them to also oversee that one security-wise so that we don't lose the line, just as we have lost this one. I want to use the opportunity to thank them for the efforts. Our intention and plan is that we'll recover these ones that we have seen and take it back to office for proper keeping.
The interview segment comes up shortly. Don't go away.
Hey! Oh my God. What caused this fire? Eh? Hey, God help us. Assuming this thing happened in the night, nobody from this building would have come out alive.
Madam,
Hey!
this is why we have warned landlords not to erect structures under the high voltage lines. If this high voltage line fell on the ground, nothing would have happened. But because this structure has been wrongly erected and the high voltage line fell on it, that is why whatever has happened has happened. We advise landlords to always consult the Transmission Company of Nigeria on their safety compliance on the right of way, so that something like this does not happen again.
Oga, we are talking of burnt house and you are talking of right of way. What is right of way and safety compliance?
Safety compliance simply means before erecting any structure around any electricity tower or line, there are safety distances you must adhere to. These safety distances are 25 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 330 kV, 15 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 132 kV, and 7.5 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 33/11 kV. These stipulated safety distance instructions are what we call right of way. If these simple, basic safety distances are adhered to, trust me, there will be less loss of property and lives resulting from cut transmission lines.
Visit Transmission Company of Nigeria office nearest to you for your safety regulations before erecting structures. Let us save lives and properties and build a stronger Nigeria. This message is from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
You're right on to the interview segment of the Power Circuit. With us today is Engineer Isaac Obe. He is the Regional Transmission Manager of the Benin region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. Engineer Obe will be speaking on the activities of the region and how the company is transforming the bulk power transmission operations in the region. Do have a delightful view.
How old is this region and what is its role?
Well, Benin region is about 20 years old. Benin region really is strategic in the national grid because centrally located is like the heartbeat of the grid. Benin region links the hydro and the thermal. So the stability of the grid depends much on what is happening in Benin.
How many substations and work centers are in this region?
Well, in Benin region we have 3 sub-regions: Benin sub-region, Delta sub-region, Omotosho sub-region, then 2 work centers, Sapele Work Center and Ihobo Work Center. Benin region have 4 substations. Delta, Omotosho, Sapele have 3 substations each, while Ihobo Work Center have 4 substations.
What is the bulk power wheeling capacity and the coverage area?
Well, the bulk power wheeling capacity of Benin region is 697.13 megawatts, and Benin region covers the entire Edo State, almost the whole of Delta State, then part of Ondo and Ekiti states.
Can you speak on the schedule of maintenance exercises for the region?
Presently, we're about commissioning installation of 150 MVA. IBTR at Delta is being done in-house. Recently commissioned a 75 MX reactor in Benin. And work is ongoing too in Hovo 160 MVA that was partially burnt. The rehabilitation is being carried out in-house. Then at Efru, we lost a bushing. One of the bushing of the transformer failed. So currently too, our team are working there to bring back the transformer, and at the stage we're doing all the filtration. So any moment from now, that transformer will come back. Then we have installation of 330 kV circuit breakers, 132 kV circuit breakers, and 33. These ones are something that is usually done. Yeah. Then again, we have issues of vandalism. So our team have always been there to try and reconstruct the tower members that have been vandalized. And because of the temperate nature of this region, we have often detached conductors. And each time it's detached, 330 or 132. It's our team that goes to restring it back, as to restore the circuits.
Just count all the blocks, eh?
Sir, we are transmission company of Nigerian linesmen, and we just observed that you're about to erect a structure here.
You're very observant. Yes, I'm trying to put up a shopping mall of 200 shops that will serve this neighborhood. And I'm very excited about the project.
But sir, have you observed that it is under high tension transmission lines? It could snap, drop on the shopping mall and electrocute everyone inside it. Moreover, sir, these lines emit electromagnetic waves that are harmful to the health of human beings.
Really? This could cause so much harm?
Absolutely, sir. Imagine if there's a fire outbreak in the mall. It could destroy the transmission lines, causing outage to many states in the country. Erecting a structure under high-tension transmission lines will not help government efforts to grow our power supply and grow our economy. Be part of growth. Do not destroy electricity power installations. Little vigilance and concern on our part is necessary to protect transmission infrastructure nationwide. Be vigilant.
This message is brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
From the interview with Engineer Obe, you could see the stern commitment of the federal government through the Transmission Company of Nigeria at improving the transmission wheeling capacity for the national grid. The Benin transmission region, which hosts several power plants, is at the center of these transmission rehabilitation and expansion efforts of TCN. In closing, you heard from the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, that the federal government is driving programs to increase access to energy. We told you that TCN is seeking collaborations in tackling power transmission assets vandalism. On the program's interview segment, the Regional Transmission Manager, Benin Region of TCN, Engineer Isaac Obe, discussed the quantum leaps in terms of project execution in the region. Keep in touch on the TCN YouTube channel and these platforms for your response is key. I am Amara Agugoisi saying hello.